Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So before we get into the levels, let's just have a look at what the daily picture gives us. And we had Thursday, we had an inside bar, and then Friday we had this basically continuation. We opened we gapped down, opened the middle. We did run down to test the low of the bar, and then we closed above it. So that is some sort of confirmation that the potential trend is to the upside. It is US holidays in the US today, so this afternoon is going to be relatively quiet. We'll have to see what happens during the European session to see what's going to transpire. For me, we're still stuck between two levels, and we've got 14,000 sort of in the middle of this. We've got 1440, then we have, and that is not quite what we're looking for. We're looking for I'll get it now. There we go. So we're looking for this high here, that fractal there. So those are the two levels, and this level to the upside, that is 14,140. So those are the areas that we need to watch out for. To the downside, we've got this 13,920, 1400 area. That's kind of where the buyers are waiting. So still got this, not really know what we want to call it. Probably, but the best thing to do is to call it a wedge. We did pop below it there, and that's just an indication. I'll show you on the lower time frames that often breaks below a wedge. Very rarely do they actually carry out to the downside. More than often they carry up to the upside. And I think, so from my experience, that's a 75% probability that it's going to fail. So I often don't trade that. Rather look for the structure that we're going to move the upside. And this, to me, is moving the upside. We do have a bit of a double bottom here of 13.92. There we go. And then we've closed above this area here, and that is 14.052. So 14.052, I'd actually just worry about this level here, 14.050 to 14.040. That's the area that you need to watch today. Pull back into that is going to give you structure for a move to the upside. Small target of 14,140, so that's basically 100 pips. But bear in mind that we do have a fairly decent, and there's also a channel break. So we've got a fairly decent flag set up here for the longer term. This whole move here, consolidate, you'd expect it to continue to the upside. Not all in one day, obviously, but definitely something that we need to pay attention to. Okay, so the other thing that we see on the hour is moving averages are now pointing up. The 150 EMA did hold double test of it, and you can see when we broke through here, we never really tested it. And that always, for me, is an indication. Just watch the trend up, comes back, wait for that retest. Often it runs without coming back to retest straight away. But you always keep in the back of your mind that they didn't retest the 155. It has to retest it sometime, and there it is, double test. Oscillators are indicating we're a little bit tired, and that stands to reason as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't be too surprised to see it just head sideways or drift a little bit lower to come back and pick up another level. So the levels you're going to be picking up on the hour, pretty much like I've done here. And then what I would be doing at the open, switch across to the 15-minute and look for opportunities on the 15-minute. Just keep your levels on the hour so you know where you need to take profit. I don't expect this thing to run sort of to the moon at the moment. Probably a more gradual grind at the moment. But remember, public holiday, so the afternoon session is going to be quiet. Morning session is quiet because of Chinese New Year, so most of Asia is on holiday. So yeah, it's 10 a.m. South African time, 9 a.m. German time, when the markets open, and we're looking for some kind of pullback on structure for a continuation to the upside today. And that's sort of what I'm looking for. So watch this level, 14.041. That's probably the most critical one at the moment. And if we can hold that level, there's going to be a great opportunity to belong there. There are some little gaps here as well. There's one all the way down here as well. And let's just make sure there's nothing. It looks relatively structured there. So, but there is a gap there. So between 14,040 and 14,025, possibly even 1400. Pull back onto there would give you an opportunity to buy as well. So that's what I'm looking for opportunities to buy. Just got to wait for the pullback on structure and then look for price action on the 15. So pin bars, inside bars, engulfing bars, off a level on the off an hour level on the 15-minute chart. It's going to be more than enough for me today. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.